How's it going? We're past the initial round of. Excuse me. Looks like we are past the initial round of ads, so we can finally actually say hi. So I do have a cough drop in my mouth. Just had a little gunk form right before I went live, so hoping that won't get too much in the way. But today we are once again visiting the quaint little town of Hinamizawa. Like I said, every one of these is going to start with a disclaimer. Because of how Higurashi is and the description of Higurashi's state. If you don't know, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but understand, once again, first off, this is the Steam version of the game. It is a modded version by Seventh Mods. Which includes the voices from the PS3 version, as well as the graphics from it. Once again, Higurashi does cover some pretty heavy topics, even if we don't get to them today in the story. This is a content warning, overall. It has very humorous scenes, but it also has some very dark and twisted scenes. So if you don't know, you haven't experienced it before, this is your content warning. With that said, I wish my cough drop would dissolve a little faster. But overall, with that said, let us return once again to Hinamizawa. Of course, as I did yesterday, I will, when we do have voice lines, I will let try to stop myself from over talking it, and let the voice line play out first. Letting the voice line play out first, to me, is the best way to approach it. That way I'm not over talking the Japanese voice actors, because I think it's good to listen to the Japanese. One, just for listening practice for myself, but two, because we're talking a phenomenal voice cast. A voice cast who has done a lot in the past. For instance, the fact that a couple of them, if you need some comparisons, Rena is also voiced. Her voice actress, Mai Nakahara, also voices Nagisa from Clanad. Mion's voice actress has done a lot as well. Some major ones. Let's see, what are some big ones that she did? Mion's voice actress is Kagome from Inuyasha. So if you've ever listened to the Japanese dub of Inuyasha, that is Kagome you are hearing there. Of course, they've all done a lot more. I'm just naming at least one other major role they have done. So, Rika, of course, is Nanoha. And Satoko's voice actress. I have to do a search here because they don't have a link to it. Let's see. What's a really big one that she did? I know it was something that I recognized for sure. No! Satoko's voice actress is Chikorita, Bailey, Emolga, Espeon, Jigglypuff, Meryl, and others from the Pokemon anime. But if you want people voices and not Pokemon voices, let's see, what's a bigger one? I would say Archie Klein is a pretty big one for Tales of Fantasia, but Satoko's voice actress is Lady Kaguya from Code Geass. Or Histoire from the Hyperdimension Neptunia series. And then Keiichi's voice actor, his I think I was surprised on a couple of them as well. I'm trying to remember some of these. Oh. He's the main character of Digimon Savers, Masaru Daimon. Let's see. What's something else he is? He was Death Gun in Sword Art 2. He's Yoichi Shiragaki in Hiroaka. Oh, and Japanese Goro Akechi from Persona 5. So, these are very much prolific voice actors with a lot of prolific roles. So I definitely want them to be able to get their roles, and we listen to them. We respect their work, and then I do my shitty work afterwards. Look, I'm currently trying to voice 4 different girls and 1 guy. So, let's get started. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. Wait, what? Give me a sec. That was weird. Why does it keep trying to play the opening, huh? Let me check this error here, because that... I don't know why it's doing that. Well, that's not an error I want to see. Now let's try it again. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
じゃあね、レナにケイちゃん。また明日ね。
Later, Reina and Kei-chan. See you tomorrow.
ミオ、今日はありがとな。楽しかったぜ。
Thanks for today, Mion. Had a great time.
また明日ね。
See you tomorrow. Satoko and Rika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mion and ended up with just Rena and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home.
ケイチくんも今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう。
Thanks for coming today, Keiichi-kun.
楽しかった？
Was it fun?
ああ、楽しかった。まだ家に帰るのが惜しいくらいだぜ。
Yeah, lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now.
じゃあさ、ちょっとだけ寄り道してもいいかな？
Ah, then, well, would you mind taking a little detour? Maybe?
寄り道？遠いのか？
A detour? Is it far?
ちょっと歩くけどすぐ済むから。
It's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long. Since we'd been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Rena, I quietly nodded. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looks like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper.
今日は久しぶりだから何かあるかな何かあるかな
Ooh, it's been quite a while. I wonder what's here. I wonder what's here.
久しぶりってレナのようはあのゴミの山かよ。
When you say it's been a while, you mean the business you had here was with this garbage pile?
ゴミじゃないよ。レナにとっては宝の山だもん。
It's not garbage. To me, it's a pile of treasure. Rena had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. So that meant there was something cute here?
わあ、新しい山だ。ワクワクワクワク。
What? A new pile! I can't wait! I can't wait! She descended the unstable slope with ease. I'd expect no less from a born and bred country girl.
おい待てよ、今行くから。あったたたた。
Hey, I'm coming! Whoa! My city raised self was completely pitiful.
いいよ。ケイチ君はそこにいて。すぐ済むから。
It's alright. Just stay there, Keiichi-kun. It won't take long. Rena kindly declined my accompaniment.
転ぶなよ。足元に気をつけろよ。
Don't fall! Watch your step!
大丈夫だよ。大丈夫。
Daijoubu?
全然平気。
I'm fine, I'm fine. This is nothing. Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Rena disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rena around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable. He had a bit of an aloof air to him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case.
おっと、あ、びっくりした。
Whoa! You surprised me. Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line.
驚いたのはこっちですよ。
I'm the one who's surprised here.
ごめんごめん。驚かすつもりはなかったんだ。君はひなみざわの人かい？
Oh, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting.
僕は富武。フリーのカメラマンさ。ひなみざわにはたまに来るんだ。
I'm Tomitake, freelance photographer. I come to Hinamizawa from time to time. I didn't ask you who you were.
写真ってのは被写体に断ってから撮るのが礼儀なんじゃないんすかね。
Quite rude to photograph someone without consent, one would think.
ごめんごめん。メインは野鳥の撮影でね。断った試しがないんだよ。
My bad, my bad. I mainly photograph wild birds. They can't refuse, you see. So what? You're saying I'm the same as the birds?
いやいや、夕闇に黄昏る少年があまりにも絵になっていたんでね。本人の許可を取らずにファインダーを覗いたことを謝るよ。
No, well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just picturesque. I apologize for trying to take your picture without asking. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. But this older guy, Tomitake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
ケイチ君、待たせてごめんね。
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you waiting.
もう
I'm finished now. Rena popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
連れがいたのかい？お、彼女はあんなところで何をしているんだい？
You have someone with you? What would she be doing over there? That's what I wanted to know.
さあね、昔殺して埋めたバラバラ死体でも確認してるんじゃないですか？
Dunno. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here long ago. Tomitake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh. I responded like I would if I was talking with Rena and the others.
嫌な事件だったね。腕が一本まだ見つかってないんだろ？
It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms.
ケイチくんお待たせ。もっとこの
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you. You were waiting a while, I guess.
馬に蹴られる前に退散するかな。驚かせてすまなかったね、ケイイチ君。
I best leave you two lovebirds alone. Again, my apologies for startling you, Keiichi-kun. Tomitake-san chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
ケイチくん怒ってる？どうしてだろう？
Keiichi-kun, are you angry? Why, I wonder. It wasn't Rena's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now.
どうだった？掘り出し物は見つかったか？
How was it? Find a treasure trove?
聞いて聞いて。あのね、あったの。ケンタくん人形。
Oh yes. So listen, you see, there was a Colonel Sanders doll.
ケンタ君人形？
Kenta-kun Ningyo. A Colonel Sanders doll? Oops, I clicked off the screen.
お手あれか？ケンタ君フライドチキンの店の前に必ず置いてある。
Oh, that thing. Those statues that are always out in front of that fried chicken place.
あの等身大人形の？
That life-size dummy?
そう、ケンタくん。
Yes, Colonel Sanders.
はあ、かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
Alright, I just had to look this one up. Yes, Colonel Sanders. Oh, cute. I want to take it home. Okay. Kenta-kun. A Japanese nickname for Colonel Sanders derived from Kenta for Kentucky. So a Kenta-kun statue is just a statue of Kenta-kun, not a specific name for a statue. Interesting. I don't know how true that is, but if that is true, that's a neat little fact. I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but well, she seems to want it.
あれはゴミだろ。お持ち帰りしたきゃしてもいいんだぜ。
It's garbage, right? No one would care if you just take it home, right?
他の山の下敷きになってるの。
It's become the base of another pile.
簡単には掘り出せないし、あそこ明かりがないからすぐ暗くなっちゃうし。
I can't dig it out easily, and there's no lampposts over there, so it'll get dark pretty soon. Rena seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back.
俺も手伝ってやるよ。今日のうまかった弁当の恩返しってことでさ。
I'll help you out to repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon
ケ
us.
イチくんが手伝ってくれる。
Keiichi-kun's going to help. I can take that Colonel Sanders home. Oh! Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state.
なあレナ、あそこで昔なんかあったのか？
Hey Rena, long ago, did something happen here?
ダムの工事をやってたんだってね。詳しく知らないけど。
Seems like they were building a dam here. I don't know the details though. Oh.
例えばさ、工事中になんか事故とか。
Just wondering if you knew anything about, an accident or something.
知らない。
I don't know. Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression.
実はね、去年までよそに住んでたの。
Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago.
レナも転校生だったのか？俺はてっきり。
Huh? You transferred here too? I was sure of
だ
that.
からね、それ以前のことはよく知らないの。ごめんね。
So you see, I don't really know much from before that. Sorry. Don't really know, don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Toмотake said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. Oh. That is the end of the chapter. Let's view our new tips. The Maebara Manor, the dam site, murder, dismemberment, newspaper edition. We'll start with the Maebara Manor.
ケイちゃんってさ、すごいお金持ちってわけでもないの？
So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich?
なんだよ突然。
What's this all of a sudden?
俺がいつ高級車で登校したよ。
Did I come to school in a limo before?
月の小遣いはいくらもらってる？
How much do you get for a monthly allowance?
1000円。
About 1,000 yen. So, about 10 bucks. Probably was a little more at the time, but we could say roughly 10 bucks.
あら、結構小市民的ですのね。
My, that's a rather plebeian amount.
お弁当のおかずも普通ですよ。お金持ちじゃないです。
His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich. What are they talking about? To be asked out of the nowhere how much I get and then told that it's a plebeian amount.
ごめんね、ごめんね。
Gomen, sorry. Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
ケイちゃんちってさ、すっごく大きいでしょ？だから建築中からひなみ沢中で前原屋敷って呼ばれて注目の的だったんだよ。
Kei-chan, your house, is pretty big, yeah? So the architecture is people all around Hinamizawa calling it Maebara Manor. It sort of stands out. Maebara Manor?
あんなに大きいお家だから、どんなお金持ちなのかなってみんなで噂し合ってたの。
Since the house is so big, everyone is gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are. I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
私の推理では、お家を建てるのにお金をかけすぎて貧乏になってしまったと考えてますのよ。
From my deduction, I'd originally spend too much money on building the house, and that's why they're now broke.
貧乏でかわいそうかわいそうです。
Being broke, how very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I definitely said that line with the incorrect annotation there. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar.
諸君らの楽しい想像をぶち壊すようで悪いが、うちは金持ちでも貧乏でもないぞ。
Yeah, sorry for
平均
rude.
的な
Oh wow,
普通の家庭だ。
that line just kept going. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, But we aren't millionaires or poor. We are the image of a normal, average household.
あれだけ大きな家は普通とは言わないって。しかも玄関は立派で、門は大型車も入れるようになってるし。
You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand, and the end gate is large enough for a large truck to get through.
絶対普通じゃないって。
That's not normal at all. They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio's in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and a lot of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people and cars could come in and see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is the one in front of the studio, and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
ぜひ今度ケイちゃんの家を探検してみたいよな。お金持ちじゃないと主張しながらもあの邸宅、一体何が隠されているのか。
I'd really love to get a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that, what could be hidden there?
かいいものが隠されてるといいな。
Maybe there's something cute hidden. Oh.
きっと家具を買うお金もなくなってて、殺風景な部屋がいっぱいなのですわ。
They probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms.
絨毯のお部屋ならぜひゴロゴロしてみたいですよ。
If there's carpeted rooms, I'd love to try rolling around on the floor.
わあ、それいいね、それいいね。レナもゴロゴロしたい。
Wow, that'd be great. So great. I want to roll around too. Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he even might let them look around his studio. The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. From the June X 1979 edition. The Shishibone City Okinomiya Police Station, June X, late at night. Suspects XXXXX were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, X, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the X at 9 p.m., where they are suspected of having assaulted and murdered the site overseer X as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the X at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. X. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies. The investigation is ongoing. This save, and we shall continue into chapter 3. Colonel Sanders?
ああ、そりゃあレナのツボだわな。
Ah, of course that's right up her alley.
レナがサトコやリカちゃんをお持ち帰りしたくなるのはわかる。だがケンタ君人形だけは理解できないぞ。あんなメガネ親父のどこがいいんだ。
I can understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan, but I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer?
そりゃあレナに直接聞けばいいじゃん。どうせだって可愛いんだもんしか言わないだろうけどさ。
Probably better to hear it from Rena, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's just so cute, though.
レナはよくあそこ工事現場のとこへ宝探しに行くのか？
Does Rena often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure?
ちょくちょく見に行くって言ってましたです。
Every now and then she says she's gonna have a look.
しかし年頃の女の子がゴミ漁りね。
But a girl her age running around garbage is, well,
レナが楽しいならいいんだと思いますです。
if Rena enjoys it, then I think it's fine.
あそこはなんだよ？ダムの工事現場だったのか？
What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It has been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
何年か前に中止になっちゃったけどね。
It was canceled a long time ago.
みんなで力を合わせて戦いましたです。
Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me.
そうそう。何しろとんでもない話だったんだよ。Hinamizawaが丸ごとダム湖に沈むことに一方的になってさ。
That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we'd have no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded.
ごめんねごめんね。待たせちゃったかな。
I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? Did I?
申し訳ありませんわねケイイチさん。お化粧直しに時間をかけちゃいまして。
My deepest apologies, Keiichi. It took me a while to powder my nose.
さあとこ便所には溜めてから行け。一気に出せて楽で早いぞ。
Satoko, wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since the chute's right out.
花も恥じらう乙女になんて口の利き方。
How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who is she calling a maiden? If Satoko was really a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued.
さてと、今日は快速に乗っ取り、部員の諸君に是非を問いたい。彼、前原圭一君を新たな部員として我らの部活動に加えたいのだが、いかがだろうか。
Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Keiichi Maibara-kun, wishes to be included as a member of our activities. What say you?
レナは異議なし。
Rena has no objection.
貧民風情が私の相手を務められるかしら。
Oh! I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task.
僕もサトコも賛成しますですよ。
Me and Satoko both approve. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
全会一致。おめでとう、前原圭一君。君に栄えある我が部への入部試験を許可する。
A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maibara-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club.
順を追って説明しろ。俺はまだ入るとは言ってないぞ。何の部活だ？
Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this?
我が部はだな。複雑化する社会に対応するため、活動ごとに提案される様々な条件下、時には準教。
What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they're in your favor,
あるいは逆境からいかにして。
and sometimes they work against you.
レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。
I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along.
レナさんは甘えてますわ。弱い者は食い尽くされるのが世の常なのでございますわよ。
You're so naive, Rena. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it?
つまりみんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活なのです。
To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club put Mion's and hobby of collecting games to use by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place.
先に断っとくけど、ままごと遊びみたいなレベルじゃないからね。一生いっぱいに命がかかってるくらい本気でかかった方がいいよ。
I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright?
楽しくやれればいいじゃないか。そう凄むなよ。
What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy.
快速第一条、狙うのは1位のみ。遊びだからなんていういい加減なプレーは許さない。
The first rule of our society: aim for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed.
快速第2条、そのためにはあらゆる努力をすることが義務付けられておりますのよ。
Rule number 2 of our society: for that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary.
もちろん僕も頑張りますです。
Of course, I'll do my best too.
レナも弱いけどね、精一杯頑張ってるの。
I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. Say, something along those lines. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun.
よし、俺も本気でやってやるぜ。
Alright. Then I too will go all out! With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club.
ケイちゃんに一応忠告ね。レナも結構えげつないからね。
A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rena can get pretty nasty. This initiation looked like it was going to be rough. Mion began fishing around the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
難しいゲームはケイちゃんだけに不利だからね。今日は誰にでもわかるゲームにしよう。スタンダードにトランプの時事抜きはどう？
Complicated games would put Kei-chan in a disadvantage. So today, we'll play a game that you all should be familiar with. How about a standard card game? Like Old Bachelor.
よし、受けてやるぜ。
Hi, Fern. Yes, totally. Alright, let's do this.
やっぱり罰ゲームがないと思えないよね。今回はビリに顔面落書きの刑。どう？
Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time, the loser will be sentenced to have their face drawn on. What do you think?
ああ、油性じゃないよね。油性じゃないよね。
Whoa, it won't be permanent marker, right? Right? Permanent... She wants to draw on our faces with permanent marker?
上等でございますわ。
That is perfect! Satsuko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either.
じゃあカード切ってみんなに配るね。
Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game.
じゃあ1枚抜くね。
Then I'll take the card out now. Mion took one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently.
ま、終盤になればおのずとわかるし、最初はどうしようもないよな。
Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the endgame. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be.
このトランプ、結構傷物だろ。まさか、みんなにはその傷で、そこに伏せたカードがわかってる？
This deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is?
快速第2条ですわ。ケイチさんも勝つために最善の努力をなさいませ。
Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well.
いくつかのカードは特徴的だから、ケイチくんにもすぐ覚えられるよ。
A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly.
上等だぜ。
Suits me fine.
この程度でハンデになると思うなよ。
Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. Basically, the Millennium Eye. They all have it. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed.
ケイちゃんの手札を右から言うぜ。3、4、9、ジャック、クイーン。
You'll see what happens here in a minute, Fern. How about I tell you your hand from starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. I'm not even repeating that.
ちなみに、ジジはダイヤの J なのです。
By the way, the Bachelor's the Jack of Diamonds.
どうカードを入れ替えたって見え見えですわ。
I can tell you what they are even if you switch them around.
上がりですな。
And I'm out. I thought I was prepared for it to be this brutal. Just overwhelming.
鬼だ。こいつらは鬼だ。レナは鬼じゃないよな。
Demons. You're all demons. Rena isn't a demon, are you?
ごめんね、ケイチくん。こっちがハートの3だよね。上がり。
Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Oh my god, the voice acting is great here. Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Riko-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take it to fish like water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. Dang, talk about a kind of a deep cut reference there. It's a lowest point system.
着順がそのままマイナス点。トータルで一番少ない人が優勝。
The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins.
では、 圭一はビリなので5です。
Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard.
やっぱりさ、綺麗なトランプでやらないと圭一君に不公平だよ。
I think it's unfair to Keiichi if we don't use a new deck.
いいのいいの。ケイちゃんだって男だし。
It's fine, it's fine. Kei-chan's a man after all.
これくらいの逆境は跳ね返せるよね。
He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right?
貧民風情は逃げ帰って涙で枕を濡らすのがお似合いでございますことよ。
It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's.
ファイト、おーです。
Keep on fighting, yeah! Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I can muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maebara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rena said, several of the cards have their own distinct markings making them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
うまいよ圭一君、その調子。
What? Great, Keiichi-kun, just like that! I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
角が割れているのは5だったはずです。
The one with the ripped corner should be the 5,
上がりましたです。
and I'm out. I couldn't let any of these precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me.
欲しいのは7なんだが、
You see, I want the 7.
これかな。
Is it this one?
さてどうかしら。聞いてみないとわかりませんことよ。
I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There's a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me.
見えた。これだ。
I know! It's this one! Got it! 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out.
なんですって7は一番わかりにくいはずですのに。
But what is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough.
ほらケイちゃん隠さない。
Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan.
この傷が確かダイヤの2だったよね。
This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds.
あれ
What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too.
ああ、みーちゃんがカード間違えるなんて珍しいね。
What? It's weird that Mi-chan gets a card wrong.
違う。ケイちゃん。あんた、まさか。
No! Kei-chan, could it be you? They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. So, I put a new one on it.
ダイヤの2を偽装したというですの？
Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 diamonds?
味な真似をするでございますわ。
Where did he impress the show wit?
圭一、一矢報いましたです。
Keiichi landed a clean hit. Clap, clap, clap.
やったね、圭一くん。大前線だよ。だよ。
That's great, Keiichi-kun. That was such an incredible match, you know? You know? Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. but by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves.
まあビリは確定だけどさ、最後にミオンから1本取れたから大満足か
It's
な。
sad that these country bumpkins can't even get a nice set of cards. I mean, they're purposefully playing with a bad set. They have access to newer sets. They mentioned it earlier, but they're purposely playing with a beat up set for the very reason of all this, like all the stuff that gives away which card is which. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mio in the end. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who is at the top already ensured victory.
この回仮にケイちゃんが1着になってもトータルビリが確定するんだけど嫌でしょ
Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that?
当たり前だ。
Of course I do.
一騎打ちしようよワンチャンス勝てたらケイちゃん1位で私ビリの大逆転なんてどう
Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it.
ワンチャンスだと。ルールを説明しろ。
One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand back behind her back.
右手のカードと左手のカードどっちがジョーカーか当てたらケイちゃんの勝ち
The card that's in my right or the card that's in my left. If Kei-chan can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins.
今後ろに回した時ジョーカーを抜いたってことはないだろうな。
When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you?
ケイちゃんが負けたら反対の手のカードも公開するよ
If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand.
それなら OK でしょ
That okay? The other three gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events.
よし乗ってやる。
All right, you've got it. Mion grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right has no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it is.
どっちだろうケイチくん慎重にね
Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful.
ああもちろんだぜ。逆転の大チャンスだ。
Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before.
あのカードは
Ah, that card is. I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clicked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, that meant it definitely wasn't the Joker.
ケイちゃんは右のカードを疑ってるじゃあ右にする右
Kei-chan thinks it's the one on the right. Will you choose that one then? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting. The one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. Ah! I remember now. That mark, the left card. No doubt about it. It's the 7 of clubs.
うん
Ugh,
きっとクローバーの7だね
it's the 7 of clubs I see. I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze.
さすがミオンだよ。
I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker.
ケイイチさんは何を言ってるのでございましょう。だって左
Huh? What's
シー
chaos?
です。
Keiichi meaning? I mean, the left one is. Shh.
へえケイちゃんはどうして右がジョーカーじゃないって確信できるの？
Whoops. Huh? What makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Cage, John? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled.
右のカードが何かは俺にもわからないさ。だが左のカードがクローバーの7だってことだけはわかる。
I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs.
じゃあ残る右のカードがジョーカーなのじゃありませんこと？必ず左右どっちかがジョーカーという約束でしょ？
Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right?
ああ、左右のどっちかにジョーカーがあるのは本
Yeah.
当だろうな。
One of those is the Joker, right?
ケイイチは勘がいいです。
Keiichi has good intuition.
あ、リカちゃん、それってどういう？
Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by?
つまりさ、クローバーの7はさっき俺がサトコのスペードの7と合わせて捨てたカードなんだよ。
So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile.
つまり
So that
ミオン
means
は捨て札を1枚拾って左のカードに重ねている。つまり
Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. And that means...
そうか、わかった。
I see, I get it!
左のカードをクローバーの7に見せかけているんだね。
This left card is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly.
ジョーカーは左手だ。
The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. The 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion.
初代部長として私もさまざまなプレイングを見てきたけどケイちゃんあんたはベストだよ。ベストオブザベストオブザベスト。
Being the first first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give me. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
リカちゃんか？
Huh? Rika-chan is... Ren and Satoko gasped at us, as if they'd seen a
なん
ghost.
だよレナ。別に俺はインチキしてないだろ。
What is it,
正々
Rena?
堂々と
It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square.
リカは慰めるときにしか頭を撫でませんの。
Rika only pets someone on their head to console them. Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rena let out a small shriek.
ケイイチくん、こんなことって。
Keiichi-kun, this is how it was?
ケイちゃんならさここまで読んでくれると。
You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me.
賭けだった。ケイちゃんがおてんばさんの早とちりだったなら負けてたのは私だった。
It was a gamble. If you had just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
ケイちゃんはさこの負けを誇っていいよ。
Kei-chan, you know, you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I'd just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
部長園崎美音の名において前原圭一あんたの我が部への入部を許可する
I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maebara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat.
これにて決着
This match is now over.
本日の優勝は私園崎美音栄えあるビリは前原圭一
Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara! Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt if I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
みーちゃんが後ろ手で細工した時またやるんだって思ってドキドキしちゃった
When Mi-chan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited, thinking, she's gonna do it again!
ケイチさんが正解に触れる直前で止まった時にはかかったって思いましたわ
When Keiichi stopped for a moment before touching the correct card, I thought, he fell for it!
見事に引っかかってくれましたです
He fell for it quite handedly. Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly?
楽しくなるようにみんなで盛り上げましたですよ
Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You...
お前らみんな鬼だ
You're all demons! You monsters!
さてケイちゃんに罰ゲームだね今日は部活の初日だしねソフトに行こうかねいきなり登校拒否になられちゃ困るし
Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licked her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker. It's a giant permanent one.
さて行くよ
Okay, here we go. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized.
いややめろ
I think that says it all there, folks. I let out my death throes. Oh, the card game. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to get to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence.
宝の山か捨ててる連中もまさかレナに感謝されてるとは夢にも思わないだろうね
A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Yep, that's how this all starts. That fun card game. Oh right, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there.
あそこさダムの工事現場 なんかあったんだろ昔。
Oh, that dam
そ
site
りゃあったよ、戦いが。
over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there long ago?
座り込みやったりデモをやったり。
Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same.
自分たちの土地がダム湖に沈むんだもんな。俺だって戦うだろうな。
It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably.
役人どもは本当に一方的だった。偉そうで威張ってた。金で解決できないと悟ると、あらゆる嫌がらせをしてきたんだよ。いやらしい奴らだった。
The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her.
よく勝てたな。相手は国だろ。
I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right?
村長や村の有力者たちがね、東京にも行ったし、いろんな政治家に根回しもした。そうしてるうちに計画は撤回されたんだよ。私たちの完全勝利だった。
The mayor and prominent figures in our village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with the legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory.
暴力沙汰とかにはならなかったのか。傷害事件とか殺人。
There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders?
なかった。
None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Toмотake said, one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had happened, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unstated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
じゃあね。また明日ね。
I have no clue, Fern, to be honest. I don't know what the real curse of the Colonel is, so. Later, see you tomorrow.
ケイちゃんそれ、うちに帰るまで消しちゃダメだからね。
Kei-chan, you can't wash that off till you get home, got it?
わかってるよ。消さねえよ。
I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. If it's a Reddit thread, that probably explains it. It's probably some deep Reddit lore theory thing that I've never found because I don't peruse Reddit a ton, other than to try to look for answers to questions. Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to go all out. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear.
おかえりケイチ。お父さん大変そうだからそっとしてあげてね。
It's a curse that is said to be put on the Hanshin Tigers baseball team, but people have already started to make connection to this game. Okay. I'll have to look it up later. Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay?
またアイデアに詰まったわけ。
He can't come up with a new idea.
今回は締め切りが重なったからね。お父さん充電期間がないと大変だから。
It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Mayabaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter?
家の中をうろうろしないで。 表に散歩でも行った方がアイデアが出るんじゃねえの？
I've been drinking some liquid there, Raz. I know Otani's the hot shit baseball right now, yeah. Some troll dressed up as the Colonel at the Blue Jays game. Yeah, I'll have to look into this a little more. Definitely will be an interesting story. Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house?
今回は生活空間がテーマだから。
The theme of this piece this time is in the household.
お父さん、この家をモチーフにしたいみたい。
So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif.
ケイジ、部屋の中を少しは片付けなさい。みっともないぞ。
Keiji, tidy your room for once in a while. It looks terrible.
ごめん。後で片付けるよ。
Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Oh, come on. Please don't use my room as the motif.
ケイチ、お夕飯までまだ時間があるから、表でも散歩してらっしゃい。
Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. Dad's moods are only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further.
じゃあそうするかな。
Well, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creeped me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mound of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one.
次の部活の時に恩返ししてもらえるかもしれないしな。
She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. She's on the couch. Hi, you. Yes, indeed. We love the cicadas. Tomitake-san might be there as well. Hi, Coco. Hi. How are you? The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. Okay, space does do that. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? What? Yeah? You brought this on yourself. Whoops. This was my real intention. I spotted Rena struggling up the slope with the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake wasn't around, I began climbing down the slope unsteadily.
Yo, Rena.
Hey, Rena.
精が出ますな。
Looks like you're working up a sweat.
ケイチ君、
Whoa, Keiichi-kun.
どうしたのこんなところへ。
What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it at least.
事故発生の緊急通報を受け参上しました。負傷者はどこでありますか？
I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party?
事故って、
Huh? Huh? Accident? Huh?
健太くん人形がゴミ山に生き埋めになっているとの通報でしたが、
But there was a report that Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile.
なんだ、びっくりした。
Huh? Oh, that. You scared me.
ケイチ君脅かさないでよ。
Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun.
冗談だよ。レナが一人で困ってるだろうなって思ってさ、
I was
手
just
伝いに来てやったんだよ。
I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out.
レナのために。
You came for me? Oh. Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake.
冗談だよ。こっちまで恥ずかしくなるだろう。
Just kidding, you're embarrassing me now.
冗談ってどこからだろう、どこからだろう。
So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment.
ほれ、どいたどいた。
Okay, now move out of the way.
で、どこだよ健太くんは。
So where's Colonel Sanders?
あ、ごめん。ほら、この隙間から見える？
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap?
こりゃ本当に生き埋めだな。
He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seemed as though another illegal dumper came in yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this.
この山を一人でどけるつもりだったのか？
You're trying to move this pile all by yourself?
その細い腕で。
With those scrawny arms? There's no way she'd be able to do that with her slender arms.
でも、ケンタ君人形可愛いんだもん。
Huh. The way she said that. Demo Kentaku Ningyo. Kawaii demo. Kedo, whatever her ending there was, I missed that. The fact that she had the Ningyo in there was interesting to me. Because, yeah, this is probably the best translation we can get out of that. But Colonel Sanders, so cute.
お店のケンタ君には鎖がついてるけど、これならお持ち帰りできる。
There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'd probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime.
どいてろよ。俺がやる。
Out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done.
ケイチ君、レナも手伝えるよ。手伝わせて。
Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help.
帰って邪魔になるから下がってろって。よいしょー。
You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed.
本気でやるなら斧とかノコギリとかがいるかもしれねえな。
If I was going to do this seriously, I need an axe or a saw or something.
もういいよケイチくん。すごい汗だよ。そんな無理しなくてもいいよ。
That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard.
レナのためにやってるだけだ。気にするな。
I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turning beet red. Ah, whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well.
さすがに休憩。
I guess I just need a break.
こいつは手強いぜ。
This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back on the grassy slope.
ごめんね。ごめんね。すごい汗だく。
I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice.
あのさ、ちょっとここで休んでてね。私、家近いから。麦茶とか持ってきてあげるね。
Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running, excuse me. The cries of Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I'd discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not so reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it was just as Tomitake-san had said, then undoubtedly there would be a mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitake-san wasn't lying. Then if both Rena and Mion... yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gone so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murdered by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back and seemed that there was a photograph in colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was, The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, arms, legs, and torso. I can understand from just the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally, the lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't the lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder done by a group of people with hatchets, with pickaxes, with a hatchet. Sorry.
驚いたかな驚いたかな
Did I startle you? Rena dropped the hatchet she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice.
ケイチくんね、さっきほら斧とかがあると便利だって言ったじゃない
Keiichi-kun, you said earlier, yeah? You said it would help if you had an axe or something, didn't you?
それでね、レナ、物置からちゃんとナタ持ってきたんだよ
So then I brought a hatchet for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely.
ごめん。ちょっとオーバーに驚きすぎたかな。
I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard.
ううんこっちこそごめんねごめんね
No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow.
最後の針はそのナタじゃないと壊せそうにない。
It doesn't look like we can break that last beam without the hatchet.
せっかく持ってきてくれたんだし、明日借りるよ。な。
You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow. All right?
うん
Mm-hmm.
何しょんぼりしてるんだよ。明日には健太くんが掘り出せるんだぜ。
Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right?
そうだよね
You're right.
早く健太くんをお持ち帰りしたい
I really want to take that Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. New tips unlocked. The Hinamizawa Dam Project and Special Tabloid Report. Let us view these new tips. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number X, Hinamizawa's Electrical Department Master Plan was announced. Electrical Development, Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam was to have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The area to be flooded by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takatsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area would include 291 houses. Population 1,251. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship were to be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land was just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onigafuchi Guardians. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company X openly refused. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, They quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and sealed their resolve to protect their homes to the death. Hazu Noriba? Or Basu. Oh, excuse me. Basu. Basu Noriba. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understood that the stalling was caused by the sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onigafuchi Guardians have been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not been yet extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onigafuchi Guardians Committee Chairman Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. On X day of X month in X prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chilling, gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give it no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody could have mistaken as alive. X-san had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and the one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, X, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide a body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciousnesses of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them, making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. X had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcefully involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does that mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. X had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound. What was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but X threatened them, saying, "Nothing will change if somebody else ended up dead." And he gave up in his objections. But X's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Triple X, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down in tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader, X's whereabouts is still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by X has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that X had said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the swamp. X's car was discovered abandoned near the swamp, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. X didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility he had expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have limited area in which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the swamp where he went to throw away that body. To the locals, that swamp is believed to be bottomless. It is known as Onigafuchi, the demon's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the swamp is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was X. Could it be that he'd returned to hell through the swamp? The Zijin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm, not with just pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. Forget that I'll stick my SD, which is thank you. Yep, that's about right. Yeah, I'll read through these for sure. It'll definitely be interesting to see a little bit about this. But this being the end of the chapter actually means that this is a great time to call it. It's almost midnight. We're starting to get more into the heavier section of the first story. So, yeah. We'll call it here for tonight. Pick it up tomorrow as we continue on with Higurashi. This got me making connections. I meant to just stop and say hi. Yep, welcome to Higurashi. Dude, I love this story. It's even with how creepy it is, I love this story. So, yep, see you Saturday, Fern. So, of course, with all that said, I think I have to hit this so I can get the menu to open. Have a good one, Raz. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. As always, YouTube, if you have not, a like and subscribe are helpful there. If you have not followed on Twitch yet, that is also very much helpful. If you would like to donate via bits or a Twitch subscription even, that is always appreciated. But, once again, as I said, remember that this is fiction. And to just be good in dealing with that. Have a good night. Of course, as always, stay safe out there. And don't get too salty.